Welcome to Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure. Keeping you informed on faith and family entertainment.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Faith on Film. Holly, I know that you've been very busy lately, but welcome to Faith on Film today.
Yes, thank you, Isaac. It has been a busy summer. It's been a lot of movies out and a lot of movie going, and every week there's a different one that's coming out. I've been trying to keep up with them. It's because obviously we want to let our audience know what's out there, and we hope it's helping you all, when you're thinking about going to a movie, when you're wanting to check out what you should see or not see. We've been talking about, Sound of Freedom and how good that is and still is doing in the box office. Isaac, isn't it hard to believe, or not really, but kind of for a Christian film, faith-based film, that it's still in the box office doing well.
I remember when Facing the Giants first came out, and it was we were all excited because it reached $10 million. Most Christian movies had not done that. And then God's Not Dead came out, and it went up to I don't even remember, 40, 50 million. And it just kept climbing. But this one has surpassed $150 million. Now, in Hollywood terms, in Hollywood terms, with some of the big movies, of course, that seems like nothing because they reach $400, $500, $600 million. But I got to tell you, there seems to be a sort of a shift now, and to see faith-based movies or movies with good, wholesome content reach that level, I think it's amazing.
I think it is amazing, and we're very proud of our friends who are producers of that and directors and involved with it, and happy for them that they're doing so well. And I'm excited because I think there's several different other faith-based movies that we can talk about in a little bit that are coming out, but we're seeing more and more. And I find it especially interesting that now that there's a strike on, and it has been for a while, the writers and actors strike, you're going to see a shift in what's coming out as far as content. And I can tell you right now that some of the faith-based Christian filmmakers, family filmmakers, even if it doesn't have a strong Christian message, but a family message, they're the ones that are making movies right now and still continuing to make movies, even when Hollywood isn't, because everything else in Hollywood is shut down. Yeah. But, we're still getting to see.
Yeah, I was going to say, these are made by independents. They're not the big Hollywood machine. And so this is a great opportunity for these independents, because the Hollywood movies are not going to come out. Even if they're already made, from what I understand, the studios don't want to release them because they can't promote them, because the actors can't come out and promote them. What an opportunity.
Can't get the talent. I know, it is an opportunity. And that's what we're seeing. We've even seen a slowdown in people we've been offered to interview and junkets and things coming up. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown with that too, but there's still enough great, like we said, independent films. So folks, there's still things coming out you're going to look forward to seeing, and then we'll see what happens the next year, because you'll feel it in about 6 months to a year, what's happening right now. We'll start seeing the things, shutting down or trying to pick up again. Isaac, we really haven't talked about Mission Impossible, and I don't even think we showed a trailer. So can we show a trailer and talk about that for a minute?
We most certainly can. Let me set it up here.
Your days of fighting for the so-called greater good are over. This is our chance to control the truth, the concepts of right and wrong for everyone for centuries to come. You're fighting to save an ideal that doesn't exist. Never did. You need to pick a side.
Yeah, it is a dead reckoning. That was, it is part one too, folks, because the other part's going to come at Christmas. So if you're going to see it now, you don't have to wait a whole year. You'll be seeing it, I guess, if they're promoting it and if they're putting it out, which that was the original intention. If the strike is still going, we don't know. But, Tom Cruise did that scene where he goes off the cliff. I think he rehearsed that 6 times. And on the 6th or 7th time, he actually did go over. They rehearsed it for months ahead of time to do that stunt himself. So think about it. How many actors, and I'm telling you, even though you think they're doing it, they're not really doing it, are going off mountains and with parachutes and doing jumps on motorcycles. They're not doing that in normal films. So it is unusual that he did do that.
He's always done his own stunts, though, hasn't he?
Yes, he prides himself in doing his own stunts. That's the thing, the mark of Tom Cruise. And this movie, it has got, Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg and Rebecca Ferguson. She's back in this, and people love her. So it's got some old faces, some new villains, and of course, the very climactic part of the world's going to end, and everyone's after Ethan. Is Hunt as far as being after Tom Cruise's character. They're after him, so he worries. He has to say, "Is my friends get killed, or risk the world?" I mean, a lot of things are put into his hands, and it is a thrill and excitement. And there's more scenes than just going off that cliff. I mean, there's a train wreck scene that you keep thinking, how can they do this? How do they get better and better and do it? But they seem to be finding a way to do it. PG-13, again, it's got some language in it, but it's not, there's no sex scenes. It's the violence kind of where people get shot and punched and thrown off stuff. I wouldn't say it's gory or graphic, so the PG-13 is well earned. And it's just, it's a long movie, folks. It's like 2.5 hours. So for kids, little ones, it's not that. So heed the rating for PG-13 for Mission Impossible.
And that's the thing, that it seems like parents have not understood anymore that when they say PG-13, it's because they really are saying kids under 13 should probably not go see this movie. And yet parents take their kids over. It's like, heed the PG-13 part.
Exactly. I was like, what is it that they think, oh, this is okay because it's PG in front of it? No, it's PG-13, and there's a reason for it. I mean, Barbie, I think, I don't know if it was PG or PG-13. I should look at that. But it should have been because of the things that were said in there and, innuendos and things. And so that's one. Another one that we didn't really discuss, but was big, opened the same weekend as Barbie, was Oppenheimer. And I just want to briefly make some comments on that. I've had a lot of on social media, especially from fellow Christians and people and directors and people in the industry we respect. They've been like, oh, it's a great movie. Well, let's take a look at the trailer, but I've got some comments on it.
We imagine a future, and our imaginings horrify us. They won't fear it until they understand it. And they won't understand it until they've used it. Theory will take you only so far. I don't know if we can be trusted with such a weapon. But we have no choice. What's happening here?
Okay.
The atomic bomb.
So based on the trailer,
the atomic bomb. How much more big of a subject can you get than that?
Well, see, based on the trailer, it just seems to me like, man, this is a movie that I have no problem going to see.
Yes.
I mean, it's historical.
Yes.
It really happened, and it was a pivotal time in our history. But there's stuff missing in the trailer that I think would make a big difference as to whether I should even go see it or not, isn't there?
It does, which earns the R rating. There are several sexual scenes with a sexual situation. There's nudity, upper nudity, and rear nudity on a male. But the upper female nudity, I think, when I was watching this screening, I was kind of caught off guard because it was really an unnecessary scene. And a couple of people around me kind of went, kind of gasped, like you could hear people were surprised because you just expected it to be more about the court scenes. That Robert Downey Jr. plays this professor who is pitted against, Robert Oppenheimer because of, he is called upon to invent the atomic bomb and create it, which he is doing, so it's very controversial. Cillian Murphy plays him. Robert Downey Jr. plays the foe. And so it's there's courtroom, there's litigation, there's discussions, lot of dialogue in this. It is not even a kids or an older kids movie. It really is for adults as far as the dialogue and the storyline and what's going on. But the nudity and sexual situation, it's interesting, Isaac. Mm-hmm. They interviewed Oppenheimer's grandson, and he said that, first of all, his uncle never cursed. That his uncle did not, use any language or cursing or things like that. And secondly, they said that he said the sexual situations weren't really necessary to the story, and it was thrown in for the rating. And he said, I would have left that out because he said you actually prevented a lot of younger people who would have wanted to come see it if it wasn't R-rated, who probably would have come to see it because it's historical and it's about that. So he felt it cut out a lot of the audience, which I feel it did too.
Yeah.
I feel it did too.
Yeah, because I really wanted to see it, but just based on some of those things, I'm wondering, I just probably shouldn't go see it. Now, this may sound a little funny, and well, perhaps it is kind of, but this movie is also shown on IMAX, right?
Right.
I can't imagine.
So there you're going to have blazing across the screen.
New top res the size of buildings. I mean...
Yeah. There you go. That nude scene is going to be more than anything you've ever seen before. Giant proportions. Yeah, that's... Yeah, Emily Blunt plays the wife of Oppenheimer, but she doesn't have the scene that's the sexual situation. So, but yeah, you know what they say that too? Well, of course, more money, because you get more money if you get IMAX, people going to IMAX, but also it's because of the explosion, which eventually it leads to the atomic bomb explosion. So eventually you're seeing that on the screen and it's, magnificent and the explosion, the whole thing. But, and then all the way leading up to it, they kind of show his head imagining and thinking about it. It's a very heavy. Christopher Nolan directed it, and he's getting tons of praises because he's done amazing, great movies. If you Google Christopher Nolan and his movies, and you'll see what he's done. And you probably like a lot of what he's done. Sure. But again, I think it's an acquired taste. I came out and was going, yeah, it was okay. Everyone's going, how great it is. I don't think it was the best movie of all time. I don't think it was the best movie ever. I don't think it was the greatest movie. And I've heard those comments made. No, it was a good movie, well written, well directed, and well done, and well told. I love the fact that Einstein was in this. That he talks to Einstein. That was a friend of his. I love that they showed him in a couple of scenes in that, reference to history. The history part I loved, but yeah, you can do without the other, I think. So anyway, that was our review of Oppenheimer. Now, I felt we needed to at least discuss that and put it out there that, careful.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a shame that they can mess up a movie that would be just fantastic and just to put in something that I'm not even sure why they needed to put it in.
I know. It's so unnecessary. Yeah. Well, looking at my notes, we've got another one that we haven't really talked about, Haunted Mansion, that's out.
Oh, okay. Now, that's based on the Disney ride, the Haunted Mansion?
The Disney theme park attraction. Yes, it is. And definitely want to discuss this.
Hadn't they already done a Haunted Mansion movie?
Years ago.
So
and they did another reboot, and it failed. We're going to tell how it failed and why.
All right. Well, here we go.
When my son and I moved in here, it wasn't as warm as we hoped. Hey, I'm going to light a vanilla candle, and it's going to be a game changer. Will it though? And after midnight, the house comes alive.
This place is haunted!
We need your help.
It's time to assemble the dream team. We find someone who can communicate with these ghosts.
people used to eat here.
I told you she's good.
It's a dining room.
I found a professor who else wanted mansions.
I've been dying to go to this place for years. Mystery lurks around every corner.
I summon Madame Leota!
I can show you what happened, but it will cost you $3.
What?
Wow.
Highway robbery.
Who said that?
You're not that scary. You're really not. You're pretty terrifying. Can you turn it around just while I finish this? Thank you.
Guys, is anybody else seeing this?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold on! If we don't solve this mystery, we're stuck here for eternity.
Surprise. You're all in for a treat. No.
No! Oh.
Well,
Okay.
it just seems
I'm
fun.
glad by the trailer. I'm glad by the trailer you can see what's in there, because pretty much that's the scary stuff. So parents can judge by that if they're going to take a little one under 13, because that was good. The trailer showed it.
Well, first of all,
But
is
what
it
do you think?
PG-13? Is it PG-13?
It's PG-13. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, that should tell you don't take anybody under 13. But let's say you've got some, 11, 12s that are a little bit more mature than I can see. To me, it looked like just a fun movie to watch. Even the scary scenes seem like they're more comical than anything. But do you know if there's anything in there that is kind of subtly put in there that is contrary to, say, a Christian worldview? Because that's what we are.
You think? You think? Being a haunted mansion. Yes. I mean, first of all, it is more lighthearted. It is kind of tongue-in-cheek. And Danny DeVito and Owen Wilson. And, I mean, they're funny. And Jamie Lee Curtis is the medium, and her head's in that crystal ball. And Tiffany Haddish, plays another medium seance person. And so, yes. But there is a little boy in it, and there's a side story where his father is dead. He doesn't have a father, and so he talks to his father. So later on in the story, the ghosts attach themselves to the boy and make him believe his father is talking to him to lure him into an evil place in the basement where they can do this thing, and the evil Jared Leto villain ghost, can permanently rule or be out there in the world kind of thing. So there is all the lights stuff you saw in the trailer. There's the other heavy side that's in there. And folks, I mean, come on, this is the occult. This is seance. This is, bringing back the dead. This is talking about, the ghosts. They're not necessarily dead, but they're talking about the ghosts coming back and being able to connect and communicate with the little boy and stuff. So that is in there. Is it done lightly, tongue in cheek? But in the end, there is still that thing of, the ghosts are happy. We're all living together. Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of gave it away, but look, they have to keep the ride going at Disney, right? Can they stop the ride by getting rid of all the ghosts? No. So just think about what they have to keep for the theme park, and you pretty well know the ending of this movie because they got to keep it going, right? So, it's done on a happy scale. It ends happily, but parents beware, because it just has the themes on the other side that I feel are, like you said, subtly. Right. Oh, the occult. Doing a seance. Doing a thing and connecting. There's no problem with that.
Yes, that's the scary part, is that they make this occult stuff, that they cover it up with just lightheartedness and things that make it seem like, it's no big deal. It's okay, right?
No big deal. Fun and attractive. And it's just a fun ride. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think I was going to talk later on. They're talking about doing Tower of Terror. They're talking about doing Space Mountain. They're talking about doing Thunder Mountain. Disney, give up. This shocked Disney because they thought Haunted Mansion would do so well, and it shocked them that it didn't. It was $150 million before making it, before marketing, and they usually spend about another $100 million marketing.
Wow!
So they probably spent $250 on this movie to market it and to make it and get it out there, and it opened up with a whopping $33 million that opening weekend, and it has very underperformed from what they thought it was going to do. So this was a kick in the pants for Disney to say, say, just because you have a theme park and just because people come to the park doesn't mean you need to make a movie about it, because they've had a string of movies that have just underperformed, and this is another one of them.
Yeah, and traditionally movies, especially big Hollywood movies, of course, start off way up here, and then they kind of slowly start to taper down as the weeks go by, right? Which is, by the way, very different than Sound of Freedom, which has gone the other way. But anyway, so that means that there's not high expectations then for this one.
No, not at all. In fact, it's already bombed at the box office. As far as they're concerned, it's already bombed, and because no matter what it's making now, it's still not going to make $250 million back. It's just not going to do that. And they know that even make $150 million, they'd be lucky. And they're not getting a lot. Disney is not getting, funny enough, in other countries like China, like Japan, and some other countries. India was insulted by something that happened in the Indiana Jones. There have been movies that have insulted them for different things, and so the worldwide box office isn't what it used to be. And also, I think people are used to streaming on Disney, and so they're thinking, well, we'll just wait because we can just watch and stream it, and we don't have to spend all the money going to it. We can just wait a month or two. It'll be on streaming. So they've kind of got a dilemma.
Wow. But it's not all bad news. There are some good movies coming out soon, aren't they? Movies that we can say, everybody get out there and go see them.
There's one that we got a screener for, Isaac, and you and I watched it on the same night. I'm telling you, I watched this movie. I laughed. I cried. It gave me that yay cheer feeling. Yeah. And I don't think I've loved Hilary Swank in as much, almost in anything. I've seen everything she's done. Yeah. This one reminded me of Blindside, and it reminded me of the character Sandra Bullock played. It very much reminded me of that kind of character, and I love her. And the movie is called Ordinary Angels, and we're going to give you a sneak peek to it. We're not going to review it necessarily but we are going to have some of the director and producer and talent in later on when it's going to be released to talk about it. We just want to encourage you guys, because we've talked negatively about some stuff. We want to encourage you. Here's what's coming that you can tell friends about and support.
My name is Sharon, and I'm an alcoholic with a splitting headache.
My advice: find a reason to be here that's bigger than you are.
I read about this family in the paper. I think this is it.
Dad, we have a situation. I want to look pretty for Mommy.
Well, maybe just a little off the cheeks. God is here with us right now, and we are here with you.
Something about that little girl without a mama, sick, and the family's bled dry from all the hospital bills. I think I'm supposed to help. Hi, Sharon.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to come by and give you this.
I just made dinner if you want to stay.
Would love to.
What are you doing? I met this woman. She's a mess.
Perfect. She'll fit right in.
$400,000 plus in medical bills. All 3 credit cards maxed out. And your income's only $3,600 a month.
Yes, ma'am.
That's not good, Ed.
No, ma'am.
I'm gonna put together a press kit for corporate donations, that kind of thing. Smile. Girls, help your daddy out. I've owned 4 small businesses. I'm good at plenty of things. Taking no for an answer ain't one of them.
Daddy's in over his head.
You're asking us to reduce the family's medical bills due to hardship.
No, I'm asking you to erase them. All of them. Was that funny?
My belly hurts.
Oh, you want to go on an adventure?
Michelle will need to fly 700 miles to the Children's Hospital.
Are you telling me we need a plane now?
How exactly do you recommend we get a plane, Doc?
I'll get you a plane, I promise. We are going to save this girl, you hear me?
We're going to need a lot of shovels.
This is our last chance. If we don't take it, Michelle dies.
How did it become your responsibility to save her? Because I'm here? Because I can.
I love it because at the end of this movie, they're going to show you the true people that it happened to. So you get to see the real dad, the real little girl. You can see what happened to her. So we won't give it away, but you get to see the ending and what happened to the real people and the characters. It's such a good story. And it's not so much that we're reviewing it right now, but we wanted to let you guys know about it, that it's coming. And it's got Alan Richmond, Nancy Travis. Did you notice Nancy Travis? He used to be with Tim Allen on his TV show. Oh, I love her, Nancy Travis. I first loved Nancy Travis years way back, 3 Men and a Baby. And I don't know if you remember that movie, but she was in it. She was playing the mom in 3 Men and a Baby. And oh my gosh, she was so good in that. And that was back in the day in the 90s when they had, fun and good stories, and you didn't have to watch a lot of questionable stuff.
Right.
And Magnum P.I. was on it too. He was in there. He was the main lead character. Anyway, this is a good film. So there's that coming. There's another one called Dreamin' Wild, and it's about the Emerson brothers. I guess they made him. It's a real story. They made a record and a song together when they were teens, and then 30 years later it gets discovered and they're stars. All of a sudden they want to be interviewed, want to talk about it. So it's the journey of what they went through. Casey Affleck, Zooey Deschanel is in this. Walton Goggins, who I love him, he's been in Justified. He's been in so many good things. He plays the brother as well. And Beau Bridges is the dad. Yep. So that's going to be one. We're going to be interviewing some talent or producers, directors if they're still on strike. And so we'll be talking about that one. And that's going to be one. Surprised by Oxford is another one that's coming out. So folks, there's some good movies. There's some good films that are on the way that we'll be interviewing people that are involved with it and showing you, because, hey, you guys are getting them first before a lot of other audiences are.
Yes, and you know what? I think for that or what is it? The brothers, that movie you just mentioned. I forgot. Look at that.
Dreamin' Wild.
I think we should be able to get the actual two guys, the brothers, because they're not actors and they're not the actors in the film.
Yes.
We're talking about the real guys, which is what I love. I love to bring on the real people that the movie was about, and of course, being able to bring the producers to Ordinary Angels, or the director even, is going to be great. That's who I really love to talk to. So, yeah.
Right. Well, Ordinary Angels, I got to tell you, Ordinary Angels, John Gunn did that, and he did the Do You Believe, the Pure Flix. He's in a lot of Pure Flix movies. He is a phenomenal director, and he did amazing with this story. And then our friend Kevin Downs is a producer on it. Kevin Downs, you guys have seen I Can Only Imagine. He was in that. He's been in the Kendrick Brothers movies, where he played the cop. What was that? Courageous. He's been in several. Fireproof. He's been in several films. So you'll notice and recognize Kevin is not only a talented actor, but he's a producer, and he's done a lot of things. So he'll be coming on to talk about it.
Lots of exciting shows coming up, but today we've run out of time, Holly.
Already? It happened so fast, Isaac.
I know, folks. We'll see you again next week.
God bless.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.